think you're prepared for an intercultural marriage until you're handed a plate of chicken feet and intestines and told to start cooking. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Sheri, and today I will be sharing the biggest cultural shocks I have experienced in my marriage to a Chinese man. Some of these I totally expected, while others completely caught me off guard. Now, just to be clear, none of these are bad things. Cultural differences can be challenging or incredibly challenging, but they do also make the relationship interesting. So let's get into it. Oh, family involvement. Okay, so the first and probably the biggest cultural shock for me was just how involved family is in everything. Obviously, in Western culture, we tend to kind of be used to this idea of independence. You know, you grow up, you move out, your family is still around, but they're not necessarily involved in your daily decisions. But in a Chinese family, they are involved, whether it's your career, your marriage, your kids, even what you eat on a daily basis. It's a family discussion. And sometimes not even just the immediate family. This could be your aunties, uncles, cousins, even the neighbors. It is a group effort. So for me, at first, it was kind of like, excuse me, why does everyone think that they have an opinion on our lives all of a sudden? But I have come to learn over time that it is an expression of love. Family is everything, and their involvement really does just mean that they care. Food means love. Speaking of care, let's talk about food. In my culture, if someone asks, "Are you hungry?" you can say no, and that is the end of the discussion. In a Chinese household, that is just step one. Food, I would definitely say, is a strong love language in Chinese culture. And if you don't eat enough, you will be even scolded. At first, I felt bad saying no because I didn't want to waste food, but I have kind of learned a trick. I always just leave a little bit on my plate now, and that way everyone assumes I'm full and will not keep pushing more food on me. Directness and honesty. This topic I find really interesting. One thing that has really surprised me is how direct Chinese families can be. In Western or Australian culture, we might tend to kind of dance around topics to be a bit more polite. But in Chinese culture, for example, if you've gained weight, someone will directly tell you. If your outfit looks bad, you will hear about it. From an Australian perspective, Chinese honesty can be especially brutal. I remember last year when we visited Lee's hometown in China, one of his aunties, who I adore, told me that I had gained weight but still looked good. I was just honestly speechless because in my culture, that is a super inappropriate comment. Like, I think it's just generally accepted that you cannot make comments on weight, especially for women. It's just dangerous territory to step into for anyone. But fortunately, I was well aware that these kind of comments are pretty common in Chinese culture. So I kind of just had to accept her comments and politely let everyone know that I cannot handle those kind of comments on my weight. Please don't make them. Even if they're true, please. 我是外国人, I'm a foreigner. I can't handle it. So even though I truly believe that Lee's auntie had no intention of being rude or hurting my feelings, it still shocked me. Even though I knew this was something to be expected, I couldn't compute it when I heard those words. Another example of this, I remember when I had cut my hair short, and the first time I saw Lee's mom, all she said was, 不好看. Why did you do that? That looks ugly. And I just, like, it was almost so ridiculous to me that I just broke out laughing. And because I've come to expect that kind of brutal honesty about appearances, I just, like, if my mom said that or my auntie, that would be shocking to do that in Australian culture. But when Lee's mom said that to me, she was just being honest. She doesn't see that as a personal insult. It's a haircut. She's not insulting me. She's just genuinely saying, I don't know why you did that. That looks silly. It looked better before. And I've had to kind of come to terms that accepting this is just another way to communicate, and instead of politely going, oh, I love your new haircut, but actually telling a lie, Chinese people may be more inclined to just straight up to your face tell it like it is. Gender roles. Another big shock was some of the traditional gender expectations that presented in our marriage. In Chinese culture, the husband is often seen as the head of the household and the provider. Even if both of you are working, there is still this pretty strong idea that men should take care of the wife and the family. I used to be super independent and I worked before I met Lee, often more than one job. So at first I thought, nope, I can do things all by myself and I can contribute 50-50, blah, blah, blah. You know, the typical Western feminist mindset. But then I realized it's really not about control. It is about responsibility. Lee sees it as his duty to take care of me, and I find that really sweet. However, there is also a pretty obvious expectation that the wife should take care of the family and the home. I will admit that Lee definitely prefers that I focus on domestic duties, which, looking back, is a pretty traditional gender role arrangement. It was an adjustment for me, and I need to point out it was something that I also chose. It was not a manipulation, but we have over time managed to find a balance where we both feel appreciated within the relationship and like we're reaching our full potential. Last minute plans. Chinese families, from my experience, do not seem to be as focused on advanced planning. I have learned this the hard way. I feel like there's been so many times Lee and I have just been chilling at home and suddenly he will say, oh, my parents are coming over in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. No warning, no, hey, are you free? Just immediate arrival. Maybe people don't even let you know they're coming. There's just suddenly a gathering of some sort or an outing, or people show up with an abundance of food. Like maybe you're not even hungry or you just had dinner, but
this honestly just happens all the time. Plans tend to be spontaneous, things change last minute, and you just learn to go with it. At first, it really stressed me out, but now I'm so used to it. I just kind of assume plans are subject to change at any time. Especially when it comes to family, never expect that you have to have a planned meeting or that you organize to go out for dinner together or something. It does seem to be a lot more common for just unplanned drop-ins and gatherings compared to what I am used to. I feel like now I'm just completely desensitized and I'm used to it and I am ready to go at any point. If I hear the door unlocking, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Someone is here. I'm about to drink some tea and eat some food. So those are some of the biggest cultural shocks I've experienced in our marriage. And honestly, despite the adjustments these have caused for me, I really have enjoyed learning about Lee's culture and his family's culture, and it has made our relationship so much richer. If you are in an intercultural relationship, let me know in the comments below what cultural shocks you have experienced yourselves. And if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.